Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 5. Chapter 5 is entitled The Meeting of Nanda Maharaj and Vasudeva. The actual meeting is described in today's verse. Text number 20. Vasudeva Upashrutya Vasudeva Upashrutya Bhrataram Nandam Agatam Bhrataram Nandam Agatam Jnatva Datta Karam Rajne Jnatva Datta Karam Rajne Yayau Tad Avamochanam Yayau Tad Avamochanam Vasudeva Upashrutya Bhrataram Nandamagatam Jnatva Dattakaram Rajne Yayau Tadavamochanam Vasudeva Upashrutya Bhrataram Nandamagatam Jnatva Dattakaram Rajne Yayau Tadavamochanam Vasudeva Upashrutya Bhrataram Nandamagatam Jnatva Dattakaram Rajne Yayau Tadavamochanam Vasudeva Upashrutya Bhrataram Nandamagatam Jnatva Dattakaram Rajne Yayau Tadavamochanam Vasudeva Upashrutya, when he heard Bhrataram, that is dear friend and brother, Nanda Maharaj, Agatam, had come to Mathura. Jnatva, when he learned Dattakaram and had already paid the taxes. Rajne, unto the king. Yaya, he went. Tat avamochana, to the residential quarters of Nanda Maharaj. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. When Vasudeva heard that Nanda Maharaj, his very dear friend and brother, had come to Mathura and already paid the taxes to Kamsa, he went to Nanda Maharaj's residence. Please repeat this translation after me. When Vasudeva heard that Nanda Maharaj, his very dear friend and brother, had come to Mathura and already paid the taxes to Kamsa, he went to Nanda Maharaj's residence. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Vasudeva and Nanda Maharaj were so intimately connected that they lived like brothers. Furthermore, it is learned from the notes of Sripad Madhvacharya that Vasudeva and Nanda Maharaj were stepbrothers. Vasudeva's father, Shurasena, married a Vaishya girl, and from her, Nanda Maharaj was born. Later, Nanda Maharaj himself married a Vaishya girl, Yashoda. Therefore, his family is celebrated as a Vaishya family, And Krishna, identifying himself as their son, took charge of Vaishya activities, Krishi, Goraksha, Vanijyam. Balaram represents plowing the land for agriculture and therefore always carries in his hand a plow. Whereas Krishna tends cows and therefore carries a flute in his hand. Thus the two brothers represent Krishi Raksha and Goraksha. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. As described in the previous verse, Nanda Maharaj decided to go to Mathura to pay the taxes, annual taxes to Kamsa. And having heard that small babies were being killed in the neighborhood, mysteriously, so Nanda Maharaj appointed local cowherd men to protect Gokula, special protection. And he went to Mathura. So Vasudeva was living in Mathura. He heard that Nanda Maharaj, his very dear friend and brother, had come to Mathura and already paid the taxes to Kamsa. And Vasudeva, hearing this, he went to Nanda Maharaj's residence in Mathura. So Srila Prabhupada says in the purport, here this verse says, Bhrataram, that Vasudeva heard that his brother, Bhrataram, Nanda Maharaj, has come to Mathura. So here Prabhupada says, they were so intimately connected that they lived like brothers. So when somebody is not actually having a blood relationship, but still they are very close friends, so much so that they live like brothers. This indicates the intimacy of the relationship even as friend. Then Srila Prabhupada quotes Sripad Madhvacharya. So important to hear from the acharyas, learn from the acharyas. Because whatever they write or speak, it is completely based on the previous acharyas or the statements of the Supreme Lord or from the scriptures. Of course, the scriptures are originally given by Krishna only. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye. Here Brahma refers to the Vedas, the original Vedas. So Krishna impregnated the original Vedas to the heart of Brahma at the beginning of creation. So Brahma became learned in the Vedas. He learnt it directly from Krishna. It's like Arjuna directly heard the Bhagavad Gita from Krishna. Formerly, the sun god directly heard the Bhagavad Gita from Krishna. So, the only source for all scriptures is the Supreme Lord, Krishna. Prabhupada quotes in the third chapter a verse which says that the scriptures are coming from the Supreme Lord. In the original Vedas it is said, Asya mahato bhutasya nishvasitam etad yad rigvedo yajurvedaha samavedo atharvangirasaha. The four Vedas, namely the Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Samaveda and Atharva Veda, are all emanations from the breathing of the great personality of Godhead. So Prabhupada says the Lord, being omnipotent, can speak by breathing air, as it is confirmed in the Brahma Samhita. Angani yasya sakalendriya vritti manti. See? In other words, the Lord can speak through His breathing, He can impregnate by His eyes. So, He taught this Vedic knowledge to Brahma at the beginning of creation. Brahma became enlightened. So all the scriptures are coming from the Supreme Lord. Now, Vyasadeva has compiled the Bhagavatam, has compiled the Mahabharata, has compiled the 18 Puranas. But who is Vyasadeva? He is an incarnation of the Supreme Lord. It means the same Supreme Lord only is compiling the Vedic, these other Vedic literature. So that is explained by Prabhupada in the 15th chapter, 15th verse. Vedaischa sarvair ahameva vedyo vedanta krit veda videva chaham vedanta krit. So Krishna says, I am the compiler of the Vedanta Sutra. So how can Krishna say he is the compiler? Prabhupada explains in the purport. See, Acharyas, we have to learn from the Acharyas exactly how to understand even the verses. Otherwise, we speculate and we may be wrong. So, speculation is not the way. So, here Prabhupada says, Krishna in his incarnation at Vyasadeva is the compiler of the Vedanta Sutra. Krishna says, Vedanta Krit. I am the compiler of the Vedanta. That's literal meaning. But here it means Krishna in his incarnation in Vyasadeva has compiled the Vedanta Sutra. So all scriptures are given by the Supreme Lord, including the Smriti Shastra, the Puranas, the Itihasas. Therefore, the Acharyas always quote the original scriptures, or they quote, just like Prabhupada in this 3.14 purport, he quotes the original Vedas and he says that the Supreme Lord, at the beginning of the creation, He gave us the four Vedas by His breathing. So, similarly here, from the notes of Sripad Madhvacharya, it is to be learned that Vasudeva and Nanda Maharaj were stepbrothers. How are they stepbrothers? That Vasudeva, of course, was directly the son of Shurasena. But Nanda Maharaj married a Vaishya girl, and from her, Shurasena married a Vaishya girl. Vasudeva's father, Shurasena, married a Vaishya girl, and from her, Nanda Maharaj was born. So therefore, Nanda Maharaj and Vasudeva are both sons of Shurasena, but their mothers are like Rama and Lakshman. Rama and Lakshmana are both sons of Dasharatha, but they are sons of two different mothers. So Rama is Kausalya's son and Lakshmana is Sumitra's son. So like that. Of course, here both of them were Kshatriyas, Rama and Lakshmana, Kshatriya wives of Dasharatha. But here, Nanda and Vasudeva are sons of the Vaishya wife and the Kshatriya wife of Shurasena. Still, they are stepbrothers. They are stepbrothers. Therefore, it is appropriate to for Shukadev Goswami to say, Vasudeva upashrutya bhrataram nandamagatam. And even though they are step-brothers, it is said by Prabhupada in the beginning, they were so intimately connected, they lived like brothers. They lived like brothers. Then Prabhupada says, Krishna, identifying himself as the son of Nanda and Yashoda, even though Krishna was born of, actually, Vasudeva and Devaki. But because Vasudeva and Devaki were anxious, very anxious to protect the child, so in their anxiety, they were thinking how to hide this child in the middle of the night. So then Krishna instructed Vasudeva and Devaki, Vasudeva, you hide me in Nanda Maharaj's house. So Vasudeva was confident that the child will be safe in Nanda Maharaj because Nanda Maharaj is his own intimate friend and they live like brothers, they are actually stepbrothers. So all this background has to be also considered. But when did Vasudeva take the child middle of the night? And he wanted to keep it a secret because otherwise Kamsa comes to know, Kamsa will send his people. Or Kamsa himself will go and kill the child born of Vasudeva. So to keep it a secret, he quietly went in the middle of the night and as Krishna instructed, he exchanged the baby girl born of Nanda and Yashoda at the same time that Krishna was born of Vasudeva and Devaki, same time, midnight. And this is also Krishna's arrangement. Krishna ordered Yogamaya, you appear as the daughter of Nanda and Yashoda, I will appear as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. This is for Krishna's own mission in this material world. So, Krishna's arrangement that Yogamaya appeared as daughter of Nanda and Yashoda, Krishna appeared as son of Vasudeva and Devaki, and then Vasudeva was directed by Krishna to exchange the babies. So, all this is completely according to Krishna's will, direction. So everything actually is going on according to the will of the Supreme Lord. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written a song, Tumi Sarveshwareshwara Brajendra Kumar, Tomara Ichhai Sruje Palana Samsar, something like that. So, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains, ultimately everything is happening, including the creation, maintenance, destruction, by according to the will of the Supreme Lord. In the Bible also they say, God willed, let there be creation, and the creation took place. But they don't explain details as to how creation can take place simply by the will of the Supreme. But our scriptures explain in detail that Krishna's will is carried out by his energies. Krishna doesn't have to do anything. Natasya karyam karanam cha vidyate swabhaviki jnana balakriya cha. Swabhaviki means very naturally, as things are going on in material nature. Naturally, so many things are happening. But actually, behind what we see is the workings of material nature, the material energy. And that energy is directed by three directors of the three gunas. Brahma is director of Sattva Guna. Brahma is director of Rajoguna, Vishnu is director of Sattva Guna, and Shiva is director of Tamoguna. But they direct according to the will of the Supreme Lord Krishna. So Krishna is above even these three personalities, Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. So Krishna is the Adi Purusha, Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Brahma prays. So like that, Durga conducts herself according to the superintendence of Krishna. Maya Dhyakshena Prakritihi Suyate Sacharacha. So how does Krishna become the superintendent of this workings of Maya? That is explained in the Bhagavatam in detail. In Bhagavad Gita just mentions, I am the superintendent of the material affairs. But Bhagavatam explains Krishna is actually engaged in his loving pastimes with his devotees in the spiritual world. He has nothing to do. But then his expansions are there, his energies are there, and they all carry out every single activity which is attributed to the Supreme Lord according to Krishna's direction. So we should understand that the whole Leela of Krishna is not a activity, especially in the material world, it's not a material activity that is going on according to the laws of karma, according to the interactions of the three gunas. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashaha. All material activities are carried out by material nature. But the living being who thinks he is the doer, thinks so or believes that I am the doer because of the ahankara. Ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. Actually carried out by the gunas. So if gunas are carrying out everything, what are the basis for the gunas to carry out? The laws. The laws of God, the laws of karma. And who is behind the laws? Who is the lawmaker? It is Krishna. So lawmaker is more important than the executor of the laws. So Maya is the executor, but the lawmaker is Krishna. So therefore, everything is going on according to Krishna's will. Everything is happening according to Krishna's directions. But then, still, the scriptures explain, we as living beings, spirit, soul, we have got a very, very, very tiny free will. And our happiness and distress in this material world is exactly according to our exercising our free will. So, 13th chapter, Krishna explains, I am not responsible for the happiness and distress of the living beings. The famous verse in the 13th chapter is a very important verse. You should carefully read this and understand thoroughly that Karya Karana Kartrutve Hetu Prakritiruchyate. Nature is said to be the cause of all material activities and effects. Karya Karana Kartrutve Hetu Prakritiruchyate. Purushaha Sukha Dukkhanam Bhoktrutve Heturuchyate. So, the living entity, here Purusha refers to a living entity. Living entity is the cause of various sufferings and enjoyments in this world. So if all the activities are carried out by material nature, why should we be held responsible for any of the material activities? Because we identify ourselves as the doer due to ahankara. Therefore, we have to suffer. Identification. Now, what is this identification with material nature? This is the false conception that I am this body. And body is made up of what? It's made up of matter. Matter means material nature. Bhumirapo nalo vayu khammano buddhirevacha ahankara iti yamme bhinna prakriti rashtada. All these elements are actually matter. Matter means material nature. So, this body actually is belonging to whom? Belonging to Krishna, Krishna's material nature. This body doesn't belong to us. But we identify, either we identify this is my body, sometimes we identify like that, this is my body, my hand. Sometimes we think, I am this body. Just like a bodybuilder will say, I am strong. So what is he doing? He is identifying himself as the body. Correct? So, when we are trying to satisfy our senses, external senses, the eyes, the nose, the tongue, the ears, the sense of touch, then again we are identifying ourselves as the body. Isn't it? Then only the satisfaction of the tongue can be misunderstood or misinterpreted as satisfaction of me. But I am not the tongue. And the whole sensation of that contact of the tongue with the food item or sense object is also external to the soul. External to the soul. So therefore, due to my misconception that I am this body, I suffer. Purusha sukha dukkhanam bhoktrutve heturuchyate. But scriptures also explain, as soon as we become self-realized, that means I realize I am spirit, soul, I am not the body, immediately you are freed from all suffering and all distresses pertaining to the body. Immediately you are freed. This is a fact. A self-realized soul has no misconception is the body, and he doesn't suffer. Chukade Swami, he was just wandering, carefree. He didn't care about He didn't even care to wear some clothes because he was unaffected by cold and wind and rain, everything. How is it possible? Because he clearly has realized and he knows, I am spirit soul. He also is absorbed in meditation on the Supreme, the Supreme Absolute Truth as Brahman and later on as Bhagavan. After he learned the Srimad Bhagavatam from his father, he became Bhagavan realized. Before that he was Brahman realized. In any case, he is simply absorbed himself, his consciousness, his mind, simply absorbed in meditation on the Supreme Absolute Truth, either as Brahman or as Bhagavan. So he has nothing to do with the body or the bodily interactions or the bodily condition, nothing to do. So he was just wandering, not caring for the body. So such personalities are also called avadhuta. Avadhuta means one who is carefree. He doesn't follow social etiquette. He need not. Because he is fully self-realized. So it has nothing to do with this material world or material objects or material conditions or material modes of nature. Nothing at all. Absolutely nothing. So, but we cannot imitate such self-realized souls. We try imitating, then we are put into endless trouble. So we should not imitate. So as long as the body is there, we have to maintain the body for the ultimate purpose of self-realization. It doesn't give us license to maintenance, doesn't mean it gives us license to enjoy sense gratification. No. Because sense gratification is poison. Vishaya Vishama Visha Satata Khainu Gaura Kirtana Rase Magana Nahainu. Narottam Das Thakur very beautifully says that having come to this material world, I am entangled in material activities and constantly I am drinking the deadly poison of sense enjoyment. Vishaya is sense gratification. Vishama Visha. What is the sense gratification business? Vishama means deadly. Very, very, very dangerous. Vishama. Vishaya. Vishaya is the sense objects. Vishaya, Vishama, Visha. Visha is poison. So this whole sense gratification business is deadly poison. And we are constantly drinking that. Because the soul cannot be killed, we are not exactly killed when we drink this poison. But why is it described as poison then? Because it is completely putting us in an ignorant state. Or we are completely bewildered as to who we are. What is our identity? We are completely bewildered. Sometimes we identify with the body, sometimes we identify with the mind, sometimes we are confused. Who am I? I don't know. This is our position in material existence, in our conditioned state. Sometimes misled by some philosophy, wrong philosophy. Sometimes we think, I am God, or I know everything. All this is due to this bewilderment, due to wrong identification, due to having forgotten our real identity as part and parcel of Krishna, eternal servitor of Krishna, loving servitor of Krishna. I've forgotten this. So therefore, as soon as we become Krishna conscious, immediately all our problems are solved. No more suffering, no more misidentification, no more effect of illusion, no more entanglement in this material world. So therefore, we should understand that karya karana kartrutve hetur prakritiruchyate purusha sukha dukkhanam bhoktatve heturuchyate. So we are held responsible because I am wrongly identifying myself as the body or the mind or matter. I think I am a product of this material world or material nature. That's my mistake. And that's a cause for all my suffering. So if this misidentification is removed, ahankara is removed, nirahankara, nirmama, nirahankara, sashanti madhigachyati, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says. Immediately you become completely peaceful and satisfied within. Second chapter, he describes this. So therefore, we have to strive for self-realization and not simply be busy with sense gratification. Even through pious activities, the pious people, they are avoiding sinful activities. They try to follow the scriptures, but they are attached to pious enjoyment. And the sinful people anyway, they don't care for scriptures or for any laws of God. So they are busy with same sense enjoyment even in sinful ways. Sinful or pious, whatever, something they will do, anything they will do for sense enjoyment. But both are wrong or misled. Even the pious people are misled. We know sinful people are misled. But even the pious people are misled because they have missed the real purpose of this human form of life. They missed the purpose of the scriptural directions to avoid sinful activities. They're having the same misconception that we can enjoy sense gratification in pious ways. When scriptures direct us to perform pious activities, the goal of pious activities is not sense enjoyment. It is self-realization. So, we should understand this goal, and therefore, the Supreme Lord, when He comes to this material world, He demonstrates by His own actions. Krishna was tending the cows and Balaram was tending the, Krishna carries a flute and he tends cows. And Balaram, he represents plowing the land for agriculture, therefore he carries a plow. So this is to teach us that we should depend upon Krishi Goraksha for our sustenance and not on any other artificial arrangement. We should depend on the land and cows. And therefore Prabhupada says that he established farm communities to teach the entire world how to live a simple life depending on the Supreme Lord through agriculture and crop protection mainly. And actually live peacefully so as to save time for Krishna consciousness. This is one of the reasons why Srila Prabhupada established farm communities. I'll stop here. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.